Hey, it's Jonny, and it's time to preview Lakeshore Lancers football. And we've got Al Pashoka with us, as we have all season. And your preview brought to you by our friends at Lazer Graphics. Give them the stuff they want from Lazer Graphics. Go to their website, lazergraphics.com. That's laser with a Z. And we are looking for a W, Al, against Mattawan. What do we need to do to make this happen?
Well, number one, stop the run. I've been saying that week after week after week, but we've got to somehow stop the run. They've got a couple pretty good athletes in the backfield. Connor O'Rourke was all conference selection last year. He's a good athlete, but Mattawan has not scored a lot of points so far this year. So they're very good defensively. They held Portage Central to just 7 points last week and lost 7-0. So defensively, Mattawan looks really good. Offensively, they've got a new coach. They've got a new system. So they've struggled a little bit. So one of the things I noticed with Lakeshore last week is early in the game, and I'm talking very early in the game, against St. Joe, they kind of packed the box in the middle and did a pretty good job. And it was a 4th down and 6 play from the 19-yard line, and St. Joe just ran that little USC student body left, threw a pitch sweep out to the left, scored a touchdown, and then they scored 2 more. So we were kind of trying to pinch the middle to give our guys some help in the middle. They did a great job getting outside. So got to be able to shore up both the outside and the inside, make sure the corners can come up and make tackles, and I think that'll help stop the run. And offensively, just limit mistakes, and we've shown the ability to move the football. We can definitely throw it. I thought we ran the ball a little bit better last week, so pretty good balance. It's just stopping the run, man, and the big play, right? So they had Dylan Chapman had a 63, a 61, a 19. He's a good running back. St. Joe's got a really good line, but you got to be able to come up and stuff the run a little bit.
Yeah, you got to win up front, and that's on both sides of the ball. And they seem to have struggled. They made some changes, moved some kids around to see if that can help it. But as you mentioned, and you talked about this all season, is that when you get to the point where you can make that tackle, is doing it the right way, but also swarming to the ball. And we're not seeing that enough. And hopefully they're making some changes and doing some things in practice to figure that out and get them doing that right.
And Lakeshore folks, I mean, they're starting to chatter a little bit. Oh, what's going on? Hey, you're playing 13 sophomores. I mean, you got 13 10th graders out there. They're picking up some valuable lessons. This is going to pay big dividends down in the future. I know people don't like to hear that, but kids are learning, they're growing, they're getting better. And that's part of high school football.
Right. Yeah, as long as you do the fundamentals, and even, don't worry at this point, don't worry about the scoreboard, worry about executing and limiting mistakes. And if you can do that, that's a win for the season. And hopefully that ends up being a win on the scoreboard at some point throughout the season as well. But like you said, young players, other schools like St. Joe's realizing that they had a lot of great young players that are now juniors and seniors. So that's the same sort of thing that Lakeshore's dealing with. And as they can execute those things and learn from their mistakes and limit their mistakes as much as possible, this will be a solid program going forward.
Oh, absolutely. And they got some horses coming up. I mean, that 10th grade class, very strong. The 9th grade class, I think the freshmen are undefeated, and the 8th graders are really good too. So they got some kids coming. It's just going to take a year or two, and everybody relax. It'll be fine.
You're building a program, and that's what you continue to do. It's a great way to think about it, and that's what I think coaches realize every time. Most coaches don't worry about the record. They worry about the team executing the fundamentals, learning leadership, learning teamwork. And that's what high school football is all about. It's, if you end up winning a ton of games, hey, that's a plus. But if you do those right things, that's a win as well.
And Coach Thompson's one of the most competitive guys I've ever seen and ever met. But he's also really big on what you just talked about, Jonny, are those life lessons that you learn in high school sports. This is still the purest form of competition that's out there. This is time you get to spend with your friends that you'll never get back. These are lessons in teamwork and communication and leadership and all of those skills that you're going to need to be successful in the future. That's part of high school athletics. I think we talked about it a little bit last week too. And those are really the traits that employers look for. So a lot of great life lessons. Danny Thompson does a great job with that and really just developing young people. So that's all part of it. And I'll predict right here, next year they'll be in the playoffs, and the following year, look out.
I like that. I like to hear that. I like to hear all that stuff. So that's really great. We'll be able to hear the game starting at 6:45. You'll have the pregame there at Stockman Stadium as we go up against Mattawan. Looking forward for another great game. You can also listen on the radio, 97.5 Wine Country, on the app, the Wine Country app, as well as at 97.5winecountry.com. All right, Al. Thanks for talking with me about Lakeshore football.
All right, Johnny. Thank you, buddy. Have a good weekend.
Your preview is brought to you by our friends at Lazer Graphics. Give them the stuff they want from Lazer Graphics. Go to lazergraphics.com. That's Lazer with a Z.